Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of Microsoft Flight Simulator. In today's flight, we are checking out the latest release of the G-36 Improvement Mod. This is already a fun, incredibly entertaining aircraft, and this improvement mod makes it even better. Stick around to find out why. If you are interested in acquiring any of my Overkills tutorial guides for Microsoft Flight Simulator, please consider joining me on Patreon. Patreon subscribers level tier 2 and above have access to all of my guides, as well as any future updates and future guides that will be coming down the road. Link to Patreon can be found in the description below. Okay, so first off, the G36 Improvement Mod project is an ongoing project that is still in development. It still has quite a ways to go if I understand the developers' end goals here. They've already started the process of implementing some spark plug fouling and things like that that will require overall maintenance. It also has state-saving capabilities, meaning that the aircraft will be left in whatever condition you last flew it in. So for example, if you end the simulator and the engines are running and all that good jazz, when you get back to the aircraft loaded again a month later, as long as the mod hasn't changed, your aircraft will be sitting there with the engine running, even though you parked from a parking spot. So some of that can be good and bad depending on what you're doing with it. But the point is it really enhances the fact that the aircraft is yours. And if you want each flight to be unique and different and, or followed by the book, that means you have to follow the procedures by the book because everything will not be refreshed the next time you get into the cockpit. Now, the latest improvement doesn't add a ton, but it is a small update in reference to Sim Update 10. There's a couple of things that have been adjusted. One of the big things is the G1000 NXI. As you guys know, with Sim Update 10 became the official G1000 for Microsoft Flight Simulator, and that has now been added to the aircraft. So it's no longer a modification that has to be added to this mod in order to use it. So perks there. Also updated it with the latest UA lighting mod. Now, the cool thing about that, guys, is that if you're unfamiliar with UA's lighting mod, is it drastically changes the exterior lighting of the different aircraft that it supports. And UA's lighting mod supports in its own a ton of aircraft, a ton of them, guys. Way too many to mention. TBM 930, Longitude, A320, 737, and I can go on. The G36, Cessna 172, there's a ton of aircraft. And essentially what it does is like the exterior lighting, the default lighting, as you guys know, it's very wide beamed, has that really nasty yellow tint to it, if you will. And what the UA's lighting mod is, takes that exterior lighting and really modifies it to more of a realistic hue, as well as a more realistic field of view or illumination, if you will, at night. So it really, really changes the game. The UA's lighting mod is really a fantastic enhancement to the night lighting of the aircraft. But here is the changelog for today. And again, a couple of ground handling tweaks, it sounds like, for better crosswind control. So let's go ahead and jump back into the aircraft. We're going to get her started up. And what we're going to do is we're just going to take a simple flight from Flagstaff, Arizona, down over into Sedona. All right, let's get this show on the road here. So let's see what we got going on here. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to make sure our parking brake is set. Make sure our fuel valve, let me see, I think I set up a camera specifically for that. Can we squeak by? There we go, that's the one I was looking for. All right, so left tank is selected, so we can come back upstairs here for a second. Let's turn our beacon light on. Make sure it's ready at the time we get electrical power going. Oh, gosh, I left all my lights on, everything. Look at that. Way to feel it, life here. All right, so I think I should have... All right, there's the beacon light. There's the nav light. Should have batteries. Oh, I wonder why they're kicking back off. All right, well, I'm going to have to look at that, figure out what's going on there. All right. Guess we'll do those the old-fashioned way. I have those bound to switches, but for some reason it pulsed it and turned it back off again. So we'll have to figure out why later on. All right, alternators 1 and 2. Oh, even the magnetos are set to both. All right, magnetos are, in fact, set to both. Oh, that's weird. But the battery keeps going back. Looks like everything's working except for that. That's really odd. All right, well, I'll mess around with that later. Sorry, guys. Okay, so lights are good. There we go. Let's go clear prop. Oh, thought I had it. Gosh, I'm just discombobulated here. Mixture set to full. Prop set to full. Throttle cracked open. Let's try that one more time. There she goes. All right, avionics master comes alive. Cow flaps are open. Good. Let's check fuel on board. Fuel quantity looks good, but it's a little heavy on the right side, so let's step back downstairs and swap those tanks. And again, this is all the condition that I left it in last time, so it means that I didn't swap my tanks last time. Shame on me. How about that? All right, let's do some barometric pressure adjustments here. Ooh, glad we did that. That was way off. And flaps. Where did I put my flaps? That's going to be the big kicker here. We still have them over here. Nope. Where did he put his flaps? All right. Flap set for takeoff. Let's go ahead and get some wind information here. For all of my weather needs, I do use the Class Echo. Extremely handy tool. 259 for 15. Alright, and we are right next to the runway, so we're going to be taking off from the south. Actually, no, I think we're going to take off from the north, use the crosswind. Okay. And 15 knots, that's a pretty good one. That should be interesting. So let's see here, let's get us set up here. Parking brake released. Airport's awfully busy today, isn't it? Okay. This is such an awesome aircraft. Definitely one of my top 10s. Whoa, hello, fire truck. .259 looks like it's actually going to be almost a dead-on crosswind. Sitting there looking at the windsock, I might have misjudged my takeoff runway a little bit. Hey, you know what would help with that? ATC. Yeah, it probably would. It's like so much traffic on the runway today. Oh no, that works. Yeah, no, I was right. Okay, cool. Alright, makes me feel better about who I am. I think what I love about this aircraft, it's fast, it's maneuverable for its class, obviously. Just sporty. Just a fun little plane. I would love to get a hold of a G-36. Then again, any of the Bonanzas, really. Kind of hard to go wrong with the Bonanza, right? Alright, let's do landing lights. And did I miss my strobe lights? There they are. Alright, strobe lights are on. Let's go. Come on. And we are still continuing to use the virpil CM3 base with the CM3 throttle for our flight controls. Really putting them through the tests, and I'm just overwhelmed with how good they really are. Precision is like none others. Alright, we can bring our yoke back. Alright. Whoa, girl. Come on. 15 knot crosswind, we're feeling it. Oof. Okay, this is kind of a scary takeoff. Alright, let her slip into the wind here. Alright, I'm happy that we're staying airborne. Gear's coming up. mercy. Bumpy weather today. It's going to make our landing in Sedona quite interesting. Alright, let's go ahead and go flaps up. Alright, let's start bringing us towards Sedona. We're doing all VFR today. I'm maintaining max power here for a little bit longer. A little rough getting out of here today. Pull the mixture back a bit. I'm going to set our RPMs back to about 2300. Mixture coming back. Oof. Because we're just getting kicked all over the place. Now, cool thing is this is my first time flying fixed wing since the latest update. So like all the wind gusts and things like that. This is my first time experiencing that. So it's definitely interesting, man. Pull a little manifold. Exhaust temperature there. Some of that RPM back in. Whew. This has been an arm breaker. I'm intentionally staying away from autopilot. Just trying to fly the aircraft through. That's why I picked such a short flight today. I really don't like using the autopilot, but I mean, after a while, not gonna lie, it's nice to have, and you get spoiled with it. But damn, man, we're getting kicked around like ponies here. I'm not sure what that reference is, but work with what you got, right? But this improvement mod really does a spectacular job of really making the aircraft your own. They're working on the hangar. Further development I know is being done on it, so eventually there's going to be even more maintenance procedures that have to be done on the aircraft in order to maintain it. Now, the other cool thing about it is it's its own install, so it's no longer dependent on the default version of the G-36. So you can actually have both the default and the improvement mod installed and select which one you want to fly in case maybe you're having issues for some particular reason or other. Now, I do need to get... wind looking like here? Oof, come on, baby. Come on. All right. Got our wind information. That's what I was looking for. Oops. Let go of the flight stick. Man, these virpil flight controls are so sensitive. They're so precise. Nothing I've ever flown with before. Alright. So we're gonna try a full pattern approach here. Double checking our barometric pressure here. Damn, man. It's gonna be a bumpy ride in, guys. Try to sort of enter the pattern here in the upwind here. We're gonna have a pretty significant descent almost all the way through, so coming in definitely really high. Luckily, we have plenty of time here. Let's get my landing lights turned back on. Yeah, beautiful shot, man. Gosh, it's such a pretty sim. Alright, now we can start pulling some power off. Right tank is still the fullest, so we don't have to worry about switching. Man, I must have done an entire flight on the wrong tank. Got a warning on the cast message, and I think it's my gear up warning. I'm really low on the RPM right now, on the manifold pressure. I think I'm actually going to go back to full RPM. Come on, maintain now. Making a wide crosswind. And actually, I just saw that our darn wind shifted directions down here. So we actually need to do a complete turnaround here. I'm going to make a bank out to the right, come back in, set up the approach. Because now our wind is... Otherwise, we're going to be landing with a tailwind. I don't want to do that. Alright, so let's go ahead and start it in flaps 1. A little early, not quite inside the white arc yet, but... kind of using it and the altitude. Slow us down a bit. Go ahead and bring the gear down. Oh, we were inside the white arc. I just got to, like, I was sitting there second guessing myself, like, wait a minute, what are you talking about? Looking at the wrong freaking arc. I was looking at the speed tape, not the speedometer over there on the right. Like, as soon as I said it, I'm like, wait, that's can't be right. Like, we were at 100 knots. That's more than enough for flaps 1. There's flaps 2 coming in. Should be seeing the approach here any minute. So what was going to be a full approach now sort of straight in. Coming at the 45 and then make our final turn inward. Mixture going to full rich for landing. We got high again. This approach always intimidates me, being on top of that hill. It always gets me. I always end up coming in super high. Space shuttle approach. And if you guys look, our wind just shifted again. Yay! We're back to a tailwind. We're just bringing it down this time. I'm not sure if that's legit and if the wind really changed that fast or if live weather's being goofy or what's going on, but either way, we got it down. Plane is secure. Landing lights off, strobe lights off. Flaps coming up, and again, the ridiculous ground traffic. Okay, no, I'm not waiting for you to go, dude. I guess the thing that's most annoying about the ground traffic from Microsoft Flight Simulator is that there's no point to it. Like, everything's just aimlessly driving around. It's like, you know, you got the guy over there in the tug cart that's much too big for this airport doing donuts. You know what I mean? Alright, let's go ahead and park her here. Set that parking brake. Alright, so remember I said everything that you do will be left as is, so we want to make sure we get her cleaned up. Oh my gosh. I just realized I had the cowl flaps open the whole time. Shame on me. Alright, so cowl flaps closed. Go ahead and get those closed. Lights, beacons off. Let's see here. Magneto. Let's get the engine turned off. Alternator turned off. Battery turned off. Avionics turned off. We'll leave the pitch up at full, but mixture comes back down to the cutoff position. Fuel tanks, I don't mind leaving the tanks on. That's one less thing I have to worry about. Let's see. Let's double check our lights. Nav lights are off. Taxi light gets shut off. And battery 2 and battery 1. Aircraft should be secure now at this point. Excellent. All right, guys. So that is an awesome flight in the G-36, minus the incredible amount of pilot errors there. But I can tell you right now, this aircraft is an absolute blast to fly. It's challenging to fly, especially in more intense weather scenarios. And it's just a really well done modification. I really appreciate this aircraft. It's got the little bit of everything. It's got your bells and whistles, and it's also got the difficulty of flight. It's got that performance from the Bonanza. It's just a really enjoyable mod. And of course, the most epic part of it all is it's completely free. So make sure you guys check down the link in the description below. If you guys haven't tried this one out yet, definitely take it up for a flight. I promise you will not regret flying this aircraft. She's a blast. As always, guys, stay safe and healthy, and I will see you all in the next one.